أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل أعوذ برب الفلق من شر ما خلق ومن شر غاسق إذا وقب ومن شر النفاثات في العقد ومن شر حاسد إذا حسد بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل أعوذ برب الناس ملك الناس إله الناس من شر الوسواس الخناس الذي يوسوس في صدور الناس من الجنة والناس وصلى اللهم على محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وأتباعه وسلم ربنا اغفر لنا وارحمنا وأنت خير الراحمين آمين والحمد لله رب العالمين.
We are on part 15. We are reading from the Seedbed of the Light, and this is part 15 of the Book of Creation. We're on page 7 for us, and we will start with the line that says there are 4 paths. There are 4 paths leading to the throne of perfection, which is knowledge of God. First, the path of Sufis, which is...
So let's start paragraph by paragraph. So what did this paragraph mean to you? Anyone? What did it mean to you? What does it say? It says there is a secret here. I feel. Yeah.
From my understanding, I guess the throne of perfection, it's saying which is the knowledge of God. There are 4 paths leading to the knowledge of God. So there are 4 different ways in which I can get to know my source of existence. Or become acquainted, or I don't know what sense this word knowledge here is referring to.
Knowledge,
like as an information God. Or being acquainted with.
No. Information is not knowledge. Okay. As far as I understand. Mm-hmm. Acknowledgement. Knowledge is ma'rifah, not ma'lumat. Ma'lumat is information. Or knowledge in the language of this book is becoming aware of something. It means acknowledgement. You may know, but you may not acknowledge. Yeah. For example, let's say, an example came to my mind, but it wasn't a good one. You know that the authority is there, for example, administration is there, but you see that, now I can ignore it, and you don't obey the authority, for example. It's possible, isn't it? So you may know that for example, yourself or myself belongs to somebody, but I may not acknowledge it. For example, I may steal it. I know that that's your property. Yeah, that's the best example. But I may not acknowledge it and take it and make it my own property. Steal it. It's possible, isn't it? That's what we do usually. We are human beings, not necessarily the people here. We steal from God's property and appropriate it to ourselves, our own ownership. What we do. That's what we have to be careful about. Not to steal somebody else's property. Don't say this is mine. It is given to me, especially my existence. Everything must be really turning around my existence. Usually, we human beings tend to appropriate our existence to ourselves, as if we are the creator of our existence. That's what human weakness is. It's very simple to understand that it's a mistake. Is it difficult to understand that our existence is given to us? I mean, don't be religious. Is it really, don't use your religious senses. Is it really difficult to accept that it is given to me, but not, it is not that simple and straightforward? By what? But my existence is given to me is definitely sure. But it needs another stage of reasoning or reflection. By what? Then research starts. What can it be? The source of my existence or the existence of everything else? Then, as an extension, existence of everything, what can it be? That's another investigation. So this acknowledgement is required. I may not acknowledge it. I may know that I belong to someone, but I don't care. I may treat myself as it is my own property. Okay. So knowledge of God means really knowledge of the source of or owner of everything. So that is perfection. Isn't that interesting? How the secular civilizations or philosophers describe perfection. How Quran describes perfection. Isn't that very interesting? Completely different things, irrelevant to each other. No common point as well, at all. That's why the Quran at the same time comfortably says that now I brought you a clear distinction, distinguisher, criterion. I brought you a clear criterion, so simple. Now, which one is true? Describing perfection in terms of secular understanding of existence, the world, or in terms of divinely guided, if you say, or not necessarily divinely guided, because you need to confirm the guidance, it is the guidance, but uh, acknowledging that this universe does not belong to itself. And that is important. This universe does not belong to itself. So very simple, then very clear. Who can say that the things belong to themselves? Because so obvious for human mind, they exist and their existence does not come from themselves. My existence doesn't come from myself, so simple. So that is divine, the guidance, what we say. It means, very simple, the existence comes from something else than the whole universe. Because we are talking existence, means the existence of the whole universe. Everything. So simple, straightforward. Needs concentration, persistence. Otherwise, we don't realize.
So without divine guidance, I think
No.
you can understand that your existence doesn't belong to you.
Of course.
Where does divine guidance comes
and then when you start searching the what can be the source of existence of, or the source of, or the owner of this universe, or my existence, who owns my existence, then you can question divine guidance, gives you guidance. think this way, you will find the appropriate, most fitting answer. When you comfortably find it, you may guess, something else, but because human mind cannot go beyond the limitations of the universe itself, when you question the source of existence of the universe, your mind cannot go beyond the existence of the universe unless you are taught that there must be. So yeah, there must be. There, divine guidance is needed. And the qualities of this one, about which we said there must be a one, something. Then he describes it. It must be this, it must be this. Evidence of all the qualities of the owner of the universe manifests in the universe as in the manifested form. That is important. For example, your knowledge, when you write a sentence, your knowledge manifests in the sentence. Otherwise, I don't know your knowledge. How can I know? Your knowledge or your art, your talent, I don't know. Talent, I don't know. So only the work demonstrates the quality. Okay? It's a good start. Perfection. That is the perfection. But this civilization inculcates into our minds, into our feelings, so different and meaningless assumptions.
So, in the sentence, can we understand throne of perfection to mean owner or source of perfection?
Source of perfection?
Right, there are 4 paths leading to the source or owner of perfection, which is knowledge of God.
Which is knowledge of God.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, we may follow these 4 paths. Okay.
So the first of these 4 paths, the path of Sufis, which is based on purifying the carnal soul and spiritual illumination.
Of course, this is very abstract notions, you are aware of it, aren't you? Say, purifying the carnal soul. These are all really value-laden vocabulary. But the author doesn't see the need to go into the details of this how, because this is very difficult. You have to understand what soul is, you have to understand what carnal soul is, and you have to understand what purifying it means. It requires lots of pre-assumed concepts. That's why this path, that's why it just passes, this path needs a lot of perceptions. And in this age, perceptions or any argument which is based on perceptions which are not really developed and proved rationally, you cannot work on it, especially late centuries. Rationalism invaded everywhere, which is not wrong. To use the reason is not wrong, but reducing the reality, the truth, to rationality only is a reduction. Otherwise, using the reason is not rationality. So people confuse this too. By using the reasoning, the power of reasoning, they think that rationality is based on using the power of reasoning, but they don't forget that only but only means only the limitations of this universe. So we can think of only within the limitations of this universe. That is rationalism, if you like, with capital R. So you have to be very careful in your subject, rationalism, because they hijack the innocent word using the reasoning and think that, or take it for granted that we use our sense of reasoning, quality of reasoning, power of reasoning. So that's very human. Human beings use their reasoning, aren't they? Aren't we abandon the power of reasoning? Their argument is on the negative side, saying that, and no, then rationalism is true. No. I mean, I'm not going to abandon my power of reasoning, but it doesn't mean that rationalist ideology is true, because rationalist ideology bases all its arguments within the limitations of the universe. But as a human being, when I use my reasoning says, you cannot explain the existence of this universe within the limitations of this universe. Rationalism fails. You see the difference. Rationalism then fails. Why? I cannot explain the universe. If I cannot explain existence, what am I going to do with the rest of my explanations? How the tree grows, I think within the limitations of the universe, I just take the picture of the growing process of the tree. But real functioning power, qualities manifested in the growth, in the process of the growth of the tree, cannot be found within the universe. Because if I want to explain how the universe, how the tree grows, I say, oh, this cell split. Huh? Can it split itself? Where does it have this power? Where does it have this knowledge? Where does it get its purpose? Is it just atoms? No, they trick. They say, oh, it has been gradually happening and developed this quality within itself in the course of billions of years of process. No, that's now in front of my eye. It doesn't have any quality. So that, if a thing doesn't have any quality of knowledge, any quality of will, but no quality of will, no quality of knowledge, zero knowledge, zero will, zero power, zero purpose, and billions of years of process of zero became one. Is it possible rationally? Zero became one. Zero plus zero plus zero plus zero plus billions of years it became suddenly one. This is ridiculous. It's irrational. So looking at the process in the universe by its appearance and attributing all the necessary qualities for the appearance of these events to the matter itself fails for the reason to be confirmed. Why? Matter is not the source of any quality. Is it clear? Matter is not the source of any quality. So how can I say that, suddenly atom became a knowledgeable one? develop free will. But there's no sign still, after billions of years, there is no sign of knowledge, there is no sign of will in the structure of atom. It is just atoms, particles. If you say of quarks, who said that quarks have knowledge? Show me. Demonstrate it to me. Whatever they call it, the technical terms are not important. The smallest part they can talk about. But no quality.
Bound to follow order.
Yeah, they are dependent in their
Yes.
existence. Yeah, bound to follow the order of something else. Yeah, order our observation. Look, another thing. I don't know whether it is our the topic today. Another thing is this: that we have to know even the order in the universe. Look, we call them order, but in fact, there is no real existence of order. That is our naming it. Order, all the power, natural laws, they call it. That is just our naming them what we observe that are. It is, we said that it is orderly happening. It doesn't mean that the things are happening here and plus there is an order existing. That is also a misleading word, but in order to question the existence, we have to fall into this misleading. Now, everything is coming into existence within an order. Order means I've seen it. It is not happening disorderly. These are my concepts. Otherwise, in the universe, there is no disorderliness, there is no order. Existing like an entity out there. All the laws that we mentioned are our namings of the qualities manifested in the universe. On the meta, we name them. This happens in this way always. This happens in this way always. We put a name on it. Power of, I don't know physics. Gravity, power of, for example, freezing, catching, turning, this kind of things. That's our naming it. As a result of our observation. If we didn't observe the things it was wrong. The way the things are coming into existence, if we didn't observe, the way they are coming into existence, we wouldn't know what order is. So there is no external existence of order. There is no external existence of power of something, law, but we see that it is constantly happening in a certain way. We name it, we put a name tag on it, label it with, there is the law of gravity, or the water lifts the things.
Buoyancy,
Sorry?
condensation,
No, water.
evaporation.
Okay.
So-called.
Water evaporates. Water lifts things up.
Buoyancy.
Sorry?
Buoyancy. The ability to lift it. Buoyancy.
Buoyance? I didn't know the word. Buoyance, how do you spell that?
Bouy.
Buoyance. This, the things that you wear if you go into the sea. But this is called buoyan or something. I don't know. I don't know exactly, but
It's a description of what I observed.
yeah, it's a description of whatever. I put the light thing in the water, light things, paper or wood, dry wood, for example, and it floats. It doesn't sink. I say, water. Now you say, water, lift the things up with my language. You know. Did you get it?
Yeah, buoyancy.
Buoyancies. Yeah. That's what my naming, after my observation. Otherwise, I didn't see water and also something next to it. No, these are all, as the Quran says, the names that we invent. But of course, within this way of coming into existence, we see that the one who brought the things into existence must have all these principles within his capacity to apply it. Otherwise, in the universe, nothing really materially or physically existing there. For example, when an painter paints a painting, an art, we call it art. Now, what is the art? We see that the certain colors are combined in a certain way that I like it and I call it art. Otherwise, I see nothing but the combination of the paints. There is no combination of the paints, and another thing, art, so comes on it. I say it is a work of art. That's my definition of it. It's a work of art. Because if something is appealing to me and likable by me, I name that thing as art. That's it. So it doesn't mean that it doesn't have a physical existence, but the quality doesn't exist. Quality exists there, but this quality belongs to its artist. Not there. Only the manifestation of this quality is there. So we have to understand that manifestation doesn't mean physical existence. Manifestation of qualities doesn't mean physical existence. But as we communicate through our observation, we name it. And all these manifestations of the quality doesn't have physical existence, but I am sure the source of that thing, whatever it is, physical thing, must have this kind of qualities. Artist, for example, or art of the artist, or artistry quality of the artist.
But it's through a physical thing that the manifested quality becomes apparent to me.
To me, and I name it. I name it. Yeah. It is interesting that the Quran says these are nothing but the creation announces the qualities of its maker, which is called Esma. Creation, the universe, announces the qualities of its maker. It doesn't mean that includes in it the qualities of its maker. No, announces with the language of the Quran, exalts or proclaims. Yeah. Exaltation, proclaims, declaration. It says My maker is a designer. My maker is a wise one, it says. But wisdom physically is not there. That is a fine point. Of course, if someone is not used to thinking in an abstract way, you cannot discuss this kind of language with them. But if they are not used to in an abstract way, you say, you see art there. You don't say that the art doesn't have a physical existence. But the things are coming into existence. I call it, it's an art, manifestation of the quality of art. So the source must have this quality. All the qualities I see in the creation belongs to its source. Okay. So we said that Sufi lots of pre-assumed vocabulary, and it doesn't really appeal to the minds of the people, mindset of the people. So the thinking, reasoning human, that's what we went into rationality. Reasoning human beings, that's why the author pass. It is not the appropriate way of making the truth obvious to human beings.
So then maybe can you say after this reflection, there is no order, there is will of God.
No, there's order, manifested form, but not in physical existence. Knowledge, not in physical existence. We cannot show that, for example, this is the pencil. I can show it in the physical form, pencil. But I cannot show the order, saying that this is the order. But order is my naming. I see that the quality is manifesting there, but manifested quality doesn't have physical existence.
So when I look at a painting, the quality of artistry is there. I can't deny it. However, I cannot say that this quality is inherent or has an independent existence from the has an independent existence in and of itself.
No, inherent. We cannot say that this quality is inherent in the paints, different colors of paint. No one can declare that. But at the same time, the way the painting comes into existence, I see that a quality is manifesting there, but this quality doesn't have quality, doesn't have an independent physical existence next to the paints. Got it?
But the paint is still necessary for me to be able to pick up on the quality of artistry. The physical paint is necessary for me to be able to pick up on the quality of artistry, although that quality is not inherent to the physical paint itself.
And also, physical existence
doesn't
next
have
to it.
Independent physical existence.
But these are two different things. Inherent quality, no one can claim it at all. And also no one can claim that the quality has a physical existence next to the paint. It means paint plus art. But the way the paint is given existence, I call it art. or artistry. That's my naming it. So I see that artistry quality is manifesting in it. You get it? Artistry quality is manifesting in it. But, for example, let's make it a very simple example. Mirror. Now, there is a real object and there is a reflection in the mirror. Now, apart from the physical existence of the mirror, there is a reflection in it, that the light reflecting in it. But do you see that what is reflected in the mirror, in reflection in the glass, has a physical existence? No, only light manifesting itself or demonstrating itself this way or another way. I mean, shades of the light, etc. Alaykum salam. Welcome.
Nice to meet you, everyone.
So the chair is for you if you feel comfortable.
Thanks,
If you like.
mother-in-law.
If you
Yeah,
don't
no, I'm
mind.
fine.
Which one is
I will need something more. No, I read it. Do you mind?
okay?
Okay, thank you.
So
We were stuck in traffic. We left early.
okay, doesn't matter. John
Yeah.
Collins is there.
Yeah, he's looking for parking.
I'll say looking for a parking. I hope. Now, it is a subtle subject, very subtle subject. Only those people who are accustomed with thinking in an abstract way can grasp it. Otherwise, don't talk about it to anyone who's not acquainted with it. So that's why the author also passes very quickly. Okay.
Okay.
So you are in the middle of the discussion. So try to get it. Okay. It's my
Thank you.
cartridge is fading away. I didn't have time to get another. I don't know what to do. I'm fed up with these things. Why?
Readable.
Can you read it?
Yes.
But let me be a better one. No, well, these are different things.
So that mine's good. Thank you. Okay, I'll give you that.
Okay. Okay, the second. Now the second is page 7, and in the middle of second bar. Of course, we must understand that we are in the middle of a long discussion. So we will try to make it as general as possible.
Okay, the second path. The path of theologians who, to prove the necessarily existent being's existence, depend on the argument that everything comes into existence contingently in time and space. Thus, its existence or non-existence is equally possible, which means that there must be an eternal one who prefers their existence and brings them into existence by his will.
Okay. As far as you got it, what did you get from him? Theologians. You know the word theo? Yeah, divine, sorry?
Concerning God.
Yeah, divine. Yeah, something to do with something which does not belong to this universe. Not it means not of the nature of this universe. I think this is a very, very important expression. Not of the nature of this universe. Theo. People simply says God. So they try to prove it. Prove what?
The existence of God,
Over humanity.
or the existence of the necessarily existent ones.
Existence, necessarily existent beings' existence. I mean, there must be something. Now, the problem, we may have this problem when we say God. We don't usually think about it. What are we talking about? But of course, it goes through stages. So first you say God means there must be a creator of this universe. That's it. But what do we really mean by it? So this text says necessarily existent being. What necessarily existent being? What does necessarily existent being mean? Necessarily existent. Now, for example, can I say this table is necessarily existent one? No, I can burn it. Yeah. But how about mountains? Do they necessarily exist? Yeah, good. Brave. Do you think
Part
so?
of the creation.
Sorry?
It's part of the creation.
Part of the creation. Look at this language. So excellent. What does creation mean?
Everything that is necessary for ones to live. For
Creation. Create. To create. To create. Good. Carry on. It helps us to understand. To create. What do we understand from to create? So that the noun is creation. Now, to create. What it means? To create. For example, something is not there and I bring it into existence. I am the creator. But it's not there. It wasn't there a minute ago. Now it is there. That is creation. It means bringing something into existence in the physical form that I experience. So this language, it's beautiful. I like this kind of interaction and dialogue. It's beautiful to say that mountain is the part of creation. Now, we miss the point because we may not. We may not. Most probably we don't. Take for granted that creation needs to be brought into existence so that an agent must bring it into existence. Right? So, yes, mountain exists, but its existence is contingent, dependent. Are you familiar with the word contingent?
I just googled
No,
it because
there is no need.
have it in my
Sorry, no, there is no need. Don't disperse your attention. It was you were carefully following. We have to know what we are talking. So contingent means not essential by itself. It means if For example, this rubber, is it? A piece of rubber. If I put my rubber here on this place of the table, right? It's being there is contingent on my will. I can take it up to another. It is not essential that it will be there. Now, we are got it. Mountain's existence is contingent because it doesn't have to be there. For example, billions years ago, physicists tell us that there was no mountain. It developed. It means its existence as a mountain is not essential. It needs to be brought into existence. Got it? So, mountain is a part of creation. It needs to be given existence to it. Now, at this stage, what we have to do, reason, ask the question, are you comfortable with it? Or shall you move on? Yeah, make it comfortable. Yeah. I know. Yeah. So feel comfortable because we have to concentrate since you came a long way through a very difficult traffic, and I appreciate it. So let's make it useful for us. At then you say, okay, we spent a lot of time, but it was worth it. Hopefully. So part of creation means mountain needs to be created. Why? Needs to be created. It needs to be given existence. But why? Why? Because we cannot find any quality, anything within the mountain which will make itself into existence. Makes sense? We have to be very careful. If any of us is not satisfied with this understanding, tell, because the end production will be belief in God. How are we going to establish our belief in God? Some people say, no, mountain happened by itself. We have to question, can it happen by itself? Yeah? Ask yourself, can you happen by yourself? Happen to come into existence by yourself? Continuously changing, isn't it? Aren't you? I'm good. I think I'm changing. Continuously. Do I change myself? No. My cells are being changed. Can they change themselves? Do they have any quality to make it? No. I put it here. It is there. It cannot change itself. There must be an external factor to make it. So we have to question, what can the external factor be for the mountain to come into existence? We have to question. What we understand that, look, mountain is a part of the earth. Earth is a part of the solar system. Solar system is the part of the galaxy. Galaxy is part of the other galaxy clusters. And all of them is a part of the universe. So, what is the source of the existence of the universe? So, this source must be the source of existence of the mountain. Very simple. Source of the existence of the universe must be not within the universe. Because if I say, this is a telephone, this telephone itself made itself. Does it make sense? Because there is nothing in it that will make the whole telephone. It is made obvious. So the universe is made obvious, but made in a certain way, of course. In a certain way. It is made in a certain way. But it doesn't mean that it is making itself. The telephone is functioning because it is made in the way that it should function by something else. So the maker of the telephone cannot be within the telephone itself. Does it make sense? Follow me. If you don't, I can repeat it. I don't mind. Simple, but if we are not accustomed with it, because we take it for granted, we believe in that. But it's a very fundamental thing, whether to believe in that is true or not, really. Am I really satisfied with it, or just because I heard about it? No, I must be satisfied with it. That's called certainty in one's belief. Confidence. I believe. How can I establish the confidence? People say different things. Oh no, I have to think about it. So the maker of a thing cannot be within the thing itself. So this expression says necessarily existent one. It means, do you know who made the telephone? I don't. But necessarily a maker must be. Mm-hmm. Why? Because it has some qualities cannot be from the thing itself. It is given. So the creator, the one who gave existence to the universe, is a necessarily existent one. Necessarily existent one means I cannot explain the existence of the universe without referring to a necessarily existent one who gave existence to the universe, as I observed. Very simple. Right? That's called God. When I say God, it means necessarily existent one. That is how the theologians reason. Yeah? They don't really take it for granted that I heard from my parents or ancestors that the universe has a creator who's called God, and I believe in God because I respect my parents. It doesn't make sense. It may be right, it may be wrong. Okay. It's the foundation of it. Let's see what the sentence says. The sentence says, how did I come to this conclusion? Because the things are contingent, dependent. They don't have to be by themselves as they are. Got it? They don't have to be by themselves as they are. Simple. The rubber doesn't have to be as a rubber by itself. Definitely, it is manufactured by something else, not the rubber itself. This is the contingency of the rubber. So, because it is contingent, I definitely need, as a human being, my mind definitely needs a necessarily existent one in the language, practical language. You can call it God. Why not? You can call it something else, doesn't matter. But do you mean the necessarily existent one? Yes. That's the agreement. Whatever you call it. So for example, in your original language, you call Allah. Yeah? You call Allah. Does it
That's
matter?
one of the names.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You call it Allah. The other one calls it God. The other one calls, for example, in Persian language, Khuda. Khuda. Doesn't matter. No, in another language, Elohim. In the traditional Hebrew language.
Dios.
Dios.
Yeah, God.
Mhm.
Everything is equal, the same thing. But what you mean is important. Whether you say God or Elohim or I don't know, Huda or Allah or whatever the name you call, if you don't mean the necessarily existent one, and if you are not convinced that it must exist, otherwise I cannot explain my existence and the existence of anything. Now, this meaningless, the universe becomes meaningless, my existence becomes meaningless. If you say this, whatever the name you use doesn't matter. If you say X, doesn't matter. Say X. So what you mean is important. Okay. So contingency is the fundamental characteristics of this universe, and theologians work on it. Take it. No, this is contingent. And work on it and come to the conclusion that the universe must have a creator. Yeah, definitely. So if someone says, do you believe in God? I say, yes, I do. How? How? Have you seen it? No. How do you believe in something you haven't seen it? No, I don't have to say, for example, do you believe that I have some qualities, for example? Speaking, if I don't speak, would you know me that I can speak? I may be dumb. When I speak, you will see it. so I will say yes, I believe in God because I have looked at the work, His work in the universe, and this work says I must have a maker. I call this maker as God, but you can call it maker, doesn't matter. Engineer of the universe, doesn't matter. Some people call it architect of the universe. Okay, doesn't matter.
Nature.
Nature means problem. Why? It's a problematic. Because people confuse nature. For example, they go out for a forest. They say nature is beautiful. It means forest is beautiful. No. Forest is a part of the universe. You cannot call it nature. Forest is a part of the universe. So you have to find a name necessarily existent. For example, does the forest exist by itself? No, it is contingent. Cannot be God. Cannot be the source of its existence. Simple, isn't it? So there. So if you read the second part of the paragraph, which is the last sentence, I believe. Yeah. No. Thus, because we established our conclusion basing on contingent nature of the universe. Okay. Got it now? It's very simple. Yeah.
Thus, its existence or non-existence is equally
So-
possible.
It's what is its? Its existence. We say
The
its.
whole.
Universe.
The whole.
What we call it creation or existing beings. Yeah. So anything, whatever you call it, you can say chair, you can say bird, you can say, I don't know, floor, you can say my pencil, famous pencil.
Yes.
I give examples for it practically. So my pencil's existence, or the tree, I can see the tree, may not, but you can see the tree. The leaves, for example, its existence, it means the leaves or trees' existence or non-existence. It can exist, it cannot exist, it may not exist, non-existence is equally possible. What does it mean? Because it doesn't make itself necessary that I am going to be the pencil. If someone makes it, it is a pencil. If someone doesn't make it, there is no pencil. Now it's very important. Now we are going to another stage of reasoning now. Oh, the universe is, if the universe, the lower parts of the universe is contingent, cannot make their own existence necessary from themselves, like me. Do you think I can make, I definitely make sure that I have an eye. Can I make? Did you make your eye? It is contingent, given to you. Hence, yeah, ability to understand, to question, I think you came to visit your sons and your
Yes,
son
my
and
son
your
and my daughter-in-law.
daughter-in-law. Which one is sweeter? Son or the daughter-in-law? Sweet.
Which one is sweeter?
Yeah,
Oh, they are a whole sweetness.
equal.
Yes. It has
So-
honey and sugar
So,
right now. I hope they stay like that.
excellent. Good feeling. So, it means you have some sort of sympathy, interest, love. Yeah? Not like everyone
It's
is,
how
like
my
I have.
heart feels it.
Sorry?
It's how my heart
It
feels
is, it's that there. It is there. Huh?
Yes.
So, did you make it?
No,
It's there.
it's there.
Not using it.
Yes.
Yeah, we have said, who gave it to me? What gave it to me? So my cells are made up of atoms.
Yeah.
Do you think atoms have the sense of love, interest, care? Atoms? Any quality in the atom? What is atom? Some sort of particles.
Right.
Yeah. Let's say atoms like a kind of soil or piece of stone. Do they have consciousness? Do they have love or will?
Oh, yeah. Originally,
No, of themselves?
I was put there.
Put it,
Right.
yeah. Human
Given.
beings. Now, for example, in the human beings, they are given. Now, their qualities are contingent.
Yes.
So, now let's think. Why do I have eyes? The question is answered here. Let's say, read it. Look what we'll say now. It is interesting.
Which means that there must be an eternal one who prefers their existence and brings them into existence by his will.
So, prefers. Now, the one who gave me existence must have preferred that I will have eyes. I cannot make it. My cells cannot know what the power of sight is, how it functions. They have no knowledge. So someone who gave me existence preferred me to have eyes. Right? This prefer is a very important word. For example, rubber is soft. Right? Not hard like wood or stone.
Right.
Okay. Why is it soft? Because it is preferred by its maker to be soft. Simple, isn't it?
Yes.
So it requires what? Whoever brought me into existence by his will, he preferred. If he didn't have will,
Mhm.
he wouldn't have the choice to prefer. The universe says, hey, my name is Ali. So, Ali, watch out. Your maker preferred you to be as you are. So you are here as a result of his will. If he didn't will you to exist, you would never exist. So we all together, as we are, indebted to the one who willed me my existence. I have to be always mindful of this. Whoever made me, he preferred me. I'm underlying the word preferred to exist. Otherwise, I cannot exist. My cells cannot exist. My atoms cannot exist. So I have to be mindful of my Creator. When? Anytime. When I am happy, when I am angry, disappointed, something goes wrong according to me. Wrong. There's nothing wrong in the universe, but I think it is wrong. For example, people think that death is wrong. No, it is necessary. It's a part of my existence.
Yes.
So I have to go through it. That's how I am preferred. But I don't want to die. That is also given to me, this sense. I don't go and commit suicide. I try to preserve my life. This is also given to me. I am preferred to preserve my life, but I shouldn't misunderstand from there that I love to live, keep my life as much as I can, given to me, protected. But when I am giving death, I may turn this love of life into enmity towards the one who gave me death. I may be very careful. I must be very careful. I am misusing the sense of disliking death. The sense of disliking death is to protect my life within the conditions of this creation. But disliking death, sense of disliking death, may not be abused to turn into hatred of the creator of death, become an enemy of God.
Right.
It is a misuse. We have to be careful.
Yeah.
So we shouldn't say something is wrong in creation. We may not like it. For example, if you don't eat the fruit, it rots. It goes what? Bad. Right? Do you like it? No. It means, what does it mean? When the fruit left there on the table for a month, what happens? Rots. Yeah? It becomes rotten. No.
Right.
Do you like it? The smell of rat? I don't. You don't. I don't. Excellent. So, what does it mean? This dislike of bad smell or rotting the fruit. Don't leave it there. Protect it. Use it. If you don't use it, if you are not going to use it, if you don't need it, give it to someone who needs it. Why do you keep it there? Because you don't need it. Give it to someone. That is how this dislike of rotting must be employed. But if we are not careful, what do? We turn this into the hatred or enmity to the creator of rotting. Whoever creates to rot. You know, the earthquake happened, the tsunami happened, and whatever happens, this kind of, we call them calamities. Why God creates calamity? Turns into enmity. No, it tells you something. For example, in case of disliking death, the message is don't commit suicide, protect your life. In the case of disliking rotting, yes, bad smell, is a means of teaching you either use it or give it to someone who uses it. Otherwise, you cannot keep it forever. Oh, there's a purpose. How about the purpose in the creation of earthquake? Now, make the building strong. Do your job perfectly. I can shake it from time to time. Don't cheat in the amount of proportion of cement in the concrete. Yeah, be careful. So otherwise you will be sorry for it. This kind, or take care, or you don't. What we do, for example, in the case of Earth, we think that the Earth has to revolve like this and we have to sit comfortably. No, it doesn't have to. Sometimes it is created in such a way that it says, no, I'm contingent. I don't have to revolve in such a way that you have to feel it always comfortable. Your existence is not guaranteed. It is guaranteed by the hands of the one who gives existence to you. Acknowledge him, remember him. There are lots of wisdoms. Of course, this world, is a transient being. It's a transient place. So we have to remember, from time to time, I feel that I'm not feeling well. You see, health is not guaranteed. It is the result of preference. Preferring. Who is preferring? Someone else. You understand? Acknowledge that, I am healthy now. Thank God I am healthy now. Somehow, after this age, not guaranteed. I am healthy now. It doesn't have to be. It is due to the will of my Creator. Thank you for giving me health. Thank you. I acknowledge. I am in debt to you for my health. It is not guaranteed. So if something happens, I say, yeah, thank you to remind me. Yeah, when I'm ill, I have to take care of my health. If I fail to do that or something happens beyond my will, I have to say that, that is the purpose of existence, to acknowledge who the Creator is. So I'm practicing my reality. Understood? So theologians work on these principles. Yes? But they will say, the following paragraph. We need further than this. That's why only theological argument is not enough for human satisfaction in any sense. So the author will say something. Let's read. Right? Would you like to discuss something? Question, concern? Anything doesn't make sense?
No, I
Okay. We can move on.
Although both paths are deduced from the Quran, their followers have complicated them a bit and thus caused some doubt to enter.
Yeah. People cannot always be that precise thinkers. For example, go to the hospital, how many people are crying, complaining, why God gives it to me, or why is it happening to me, why me? That's not always human beings can bear in mind this kind of reasoning, because it needs sequences, following the sequences. So, although this is from this way of thinking is learned, deduced from revelation. Of course, the man is speaking here is a Muslim, so he says the Quran. If he was a Christian, he would say the Bible, the Torah. Yeah. So revelation tells us that there is a creator. Try to understand this. So the way the revelation speaks to us reveals how we should confirm this message. Yeah. For example, Torah has. I don't know whether you are familiar with this Torah tradition. Have you ever read Psalms?
Yeah.
Psalms,
Yes. It's fine.
all of them. Not only some songs.
Couple of them.
Yeah, okay. For the Wisdom of Solomon, for example. Wisdom of Solomon, another book. The Wisdoms. No. Okay. Doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
So there are some sort of good arguments there that provides this kind of reasoning. But we have to work on it.
Well, my favorite is the one that starts, "The Lord is my shepherd." I really don't know it in English, but I know it perfectly in Spanish.
So,
And it makes total sense when you
so
read
the
it.
Lord is my shepherd.
Right.
It
I
means
shall know one.
the Lord is
My creator.
creator.
Yes.
Excellent. Yeah.
Yes.
So the creator of everything is my owner. Lord means owner, really master. It means mastering my existence.
Yes.
Excellent. So the creator of the universe is my creator as well.
Right.
I am a part of the universe.
Right.
So he is my shepherd. He takes care of me. He
Yes.
says, don't go there, go there.
Yes.
Don't do that. Don't
Right.
commit suicide.
Yes.
Take care of your health. Don't leave the fruit on the table for months.
Don't doubt. Don't be impatient.
Yeah, be patient with me, like a person like me,
Yes.
insisting a lot. So be patient with the people.
Yeah.
Try to see the good side of everything.
Yes.
Yeah, that is the shepherd is teaching the sheep, if you like her.
Mm-hmm.
Now we are sheep in the hands of the shepherd, not in the hand of
You.
somebody.
Right.
Anyone, for example, not in the hand of wind,
Right.
not in the hand of, I don't know, imam, priest, or I don't know, rabbi,
Right.
or any guru. No. I am but they may teach me, I understand. But ultimately, my shepherd is the shepherd of the universe. Everything is guided by him. Excellent. So that's why we have to interpret this.
Yes.
Yeah. That's why the text says here, not everybody can really interpret and think about it and find this complicated, and thus what did they do? What do you mean by that? Is it always like this? A lot of questions that may come. So there may be other safer paths to acknowledge or to reach what we said before, perfection. Perfection means what? Knowledge of God. If we know perfection, before you came, we studied that part. What does perfection for human being is? Knowledge of God.
Yeah.
We become perfect human being. Otherwise, we become egoistic, capricious,
Yes.
Dictators, commanding on others rather than understanding the others. Yeah. Anyways, perfection, in order to reach perfection, that is the aim of the text, actually. Yeah, from the beginning we studied today how we can reach perfection. It means how we can be perfect human beings as a created human beings. So, yeah, we cannot make ourselves perfect, but we can choose. We are given the choice, the free will. Right? We can do this or we can do that. So it may be somehow difficult for people. They cannot understand the details of these arguments, and it may cause some doubt. Yeah. So it doesn't mean that they are not consistent. No, they are, but difficult. Show me easier. Okay? That is another way. Then the third way. Now, there is another way. There is another way. Let's think. We will benefit from all of it.
The third path. The path of philosophers contaminated with doubt, hesitation, and fancies to some extent.
Yeah. Philosophers usually look for any excuse to doubt about the things. Doubt is essential for them. Of course, doubting about something is okay, but to make the ultimate purpose of your reasoning to doubt, be careful, be careful, all of us, is not the purpose of having the sense of doubt. We have the sense of doubt. For example, if you see that there's a noise coming from the inside the cupboard there, what can it be? A mouse? Yeah? Or a machine which grew? Or another bags or something? We doubt. So that as a result of doubt, we investigate. But the purpose of having doubt to investigate the reality and finding out. Otherwise, the purpose of doubt is not to, cannot be, should not be doubting itself. Of course, if I don't doubt at all, what am I going to eat tomorrow? Do I take any precautions? No, because I have no doubt about my food for tomorrow. I said, it's guaranteed, don't worry about it. But if I say, do I have some food in the kitchen for tomorrow? I am here. I said, I don't know. This doubt makes me go to the kitchen and investigate whether I have enough food for tomorrow or not. That is the function of doubt. But in the hands of the philosophers, doubt became the ultimate purpose. That's what we doubt, we question. Now, of course, as a result of this, these philosophers, by definition, not the people, reason by his own nature, reasoning. Philosopher is a profession. We have to be by profession careful. Philosophy is a profession. It means they search any point which may rise or which may cause to rise. How do you say? It may arise. Arise. Which may arise a doubt, they catch it. That's their profession, to catch it. So, of course, when you ask them, why did you catch this point which causes doubt? Because I have to ask the question, profession. And what is the answer? No, we can look for the answer within the universe. Look, we have to be very careful about this definition. Within the universe. That is the profession of philosophy. But if someone says, no, if my mind forces me, I think that's a very sensitive point. If my mind forces me that the doubt that I am trying to overcome and get the answer forces me that I have to go outside of the universe in order to find the answer, then this is correct. This is not the philosopher or philosophy that this text is talking about. This is human reasoning. But philosopher, if you like, the materialist philosopher, if you like. Now, the materialist philosopher says, or the materialist philosophy restricts itself that the answer for the truth, for the reality, must be found within the universe. Why? Because philosophy is a challenge against revelation. Right? But if one says, look, I am using the sense of doubt in order to investigate and get the answer, if I cannot find the truth within the universe, it means real explanation. For an answer to my question, we have to be very careful. But my profession, she's studying philosophy. So we have to be very careful. Now, I am looking for the truth and no way to find the truth within the universe because my sense of reasoning forces me to go out of the universe and see that there must be a necessary being who preferred this universe to come into existence. Then I must accept it. This necessary being, by definition, is called God. I must accept God. So, if there is God, it means my shepherd is God. So, let me see what my shepherd says, how to reason. It's called reasoning alongside with revelation. God's revealing his guidance as a shepherd, owner. Yeah, the one who gave me my reasoning teaches me how to reason. Got it? So it is a clear point. So this reasoning is not by profession called materialist philosopher, but thinker, reflection. That's very human. We have to be open-minded. Someone who is not open-minded within a conditioned rules that established by himself. I have to find the truth within the universe. What they do, they conclude there is no truth, which is not wrong. Why? There is no truth within the universe. Correct? Because you said I'm not going out of the universe. Yeah? Your conclusion is correct according to your conditions, your premises. I'm not going out of the universe. That's why the theologians say philosophers cannot find the answer. By definition, philosophy is a profession developed against revelation. Revelation claims that it is coming from the outside of the universe. For example, Torah says, or the Psalm says, what? I am the word of
I'm the life.
God.
Oh,
No,
mhm,
living God.
mhm.
I am the word of living God. Where is God? Living God, not within the universe. He is the creator of the universe. It means out of the universe. Got it? By definition. Yeah, we must be clear about it. But if one says, look, I am a philosopher, but I don't restrict myself. To make it clear, you are not a thinker making philosophy. It means lover of wisdom, literal meaning. Okay, I am a lover of wisdom as well, but wisdom requires that this universe must be created by someone, by something, not within the universe. Accept it, that is wisdom. But if you say, no, I'm not going there. I'm not going there because I don't follow revelation. Don't follow. Your reason says you have to go. Why do you restrict yourself? Your reason says you have to go. You have to admit that there must be a one, necessarily existent one, who willed the universe to exist, preferred the universe, its existence to non-existence, willed it, that the universe must exist. In the language of the Quran, God's language of the Quran says God's will is enough for everything to exist. If he wills it, because he is the creator of the universe, he must be not like the universe, piece of a universe. He is absolute. He must be eternal, infinite,
Yes.
absolute. So absolute has no limit. So he wills it, wills it. That's it.
Yeah.
So that is what human reasoning says. Philosophy is not reasoning. It is an imprisoned, restricted, not free, but frozen reasoning, as it is used against revelation. Got it? God's guidance against it. I think you have to elaborate on it.
I mean, I think in terms of, in a sense, I would say that it's a tool, right?
It's a tool.
It's a tool.
Which one?
Philosophy.
Which is philosophy? What do you mean by philosophy?
Philosophy, investigating.
Investigating.
A way of
Yeah.
investigating,
So
right?
investigating. Don't
Right.
mention. Don't use it a title for a profession developed by the people who opposed revelation.
Well, in a sense, I mean, if you utilize your reason and your ability to doubt and make doubt the aim,
So it is there. The doubt is there
right?
in human
if you make it
beings.
the aim, then it can become antagonistic in its nature, right? In that opposing revelation, or specifically for the sake of opposition.
Because it is restrictions. What is the restriction? Be careful about this. They don't say it. Philosophers don't say that we restrict ourselves. We imprison our minds. They don't say that because no one will accept it. What they do by profession, what's the restriction?
I mean, you said it yourself, staying within the universe.
Yeah.
Right. So
I will find the truth.
if a line of reasoning mandates that you go outside of the universe,
This is not philosophy. This is reasoning.
but why is it not philosophy then?
Because philosophy is used for a professional title.
By some, right?
Yeah.
Right.
But you
But
may not.
I mean, I don't know if that's
So
a
you have to-
generalization we can make.
So you have to define the word philosophy for yourself.
Right. Right.
So my understanding of philosophy is to have a free thinking, and if my way of thinking pushes me to accept that the universe must have a creator, not of the nature of the universe itself,
then that's a philosophical conclusion as well.
that is your conclusion,
Right.
not the professional philosopher's conclusion.
Opposed to other philosophical
I
conclusions.
see. So that is why, to make the distinction, what the theologians say, philosophy is different from revelation and opposed to revelation, which means you have to restrict yourself with the universe. But on the other hand, when we follow the revelation, we shouldn't restrict ourselves from the universe as well. Revelation, by definition, says, I am the creator of the universe, and all what I am going to teach you, guide you, is witnessed by my word, universe, combined.
Right. And I mean,
Do you understand? It's very essential. Yeah.
historically, even they would call philosophy the handmaiden of theology. So philosophy as a tool to further understand and make sense of revelation.
So revelation doesn't need philosophy in this sense. You know why?
Well, again, philosophy in the sense of
Human
questioning,
reasoning.
right? Reasoning.
No. Call it human reasoning. Call it human wisdom. Why do you call it philosophy? Because it became a title for the profession, which is restricted, closed mind. Closed mind. It means even if my mind forces me to accept that the universe has an external creator to itself, I wouldn't accept it. That is why the philosophy is a profession as opposed to revelation. But what happened historically?
I mean,
You
it's,
said-
it's I wouldn't. It doesn't have to be a profession. It's a discipline. It's
look, this
area of
discipline.
study.
Yeah. For example, nowadays, they call science. Now, science is a discipline, different categories of discipline. So, what do they mean by science? Nowadays, not nowadays, really, almost the last 2-3 centuries, science studying the universe, how it works, and concluding that everything is working by itself.
Yes.
That's by definition.
Mhm.
As a human being, I ask, okay, I know that the machine is working. I know that the tree is growing, the bird is flying. Yes, human beings are living and experiencing many, many aspects of their human qualities. Yeah, and you can study it, but why do you say that its existence is from itself, natural? Who said that? Why don't you open up this question? Why don't you open? Can it be natural for the universe to be as it is? It means, can it be from itself to be as it is? It makes sense. So, can the tree grow by itself? By itself? Or it is organized in this way? Is it contingent or essential? Which one? Which one? Contingent,
Yes.
because it doesn't have any quality to organize its life. It is the shepherd. I'm using your name.
Yes. Yes.
So it is the shepherd. So don't restrict yourself. So nowadays the word science became restricted, closed minds, people's theology, philosophy. So what we say, science is a tool, cannot be the aim. I have to study the universe in order to reach a free conclusion. Free conclusion for my mind. I have to study how the things work, but I cannot restrict myself saying that there is nothing apart from the universe, the things themselves. Who said that? Let me think. If I can explain the existence of the universe by its own qualities, you're right. But I cannot. You cannot either. So why do we restrict ourselves? We are free thinking human beings. Revelation says, not like philosophy, not like the science of these ages, last ages. Revelation says, look, I am the creator of the universe. How do you make sure of it? Ascertain your conclusion. Look at the universe, investigate it. If you don't come to the conclusion that there is a creator, ignore me. Especially the Quran is full of what? Why don't you reason? Why don't you think? Why don't you reflect? But reflect on what? On creation. I cannot reflect something beyond the universe. I cannot reason something beyond the universe. My material, reasoning material, must be here. So, revelation is open-minded. Philosophy and science in by profession. Materialist philosophy to make it distinct. Materialist philosophy and nowadays science, not studying the universe, but the profession science became what? Restricted, Revelation is open-mindedness. But there is a big but. Historically, what happened? Those people who claim that they followed revelation, they followed revelation with a blind mind. Yeah,
These two words, doubt and hesitations, basically cover the original mind. And for that reason, we cannot see the origin and the wholeness of God.
yeah, all the
Because doubt and
essence of,
hesitation is not really part of our original mind that the Creator gave us.
so
We simply forget these have to learn. Doubt and hesitation is something that we learn.
yeah, but
It's the mind learns, so that's
but-
why it covers the truth.
no,
For that
let's
reason.
be comfortable about this. Doubt and hesitation. Say we learn. Well, let's work on it.
Okay.
Let's work on this. If I don't have the ability to learn doubt, can I create the ability to learn doubt? No, I cannot create anything. It is within me, like every other sense. Every other sense. This doubt and hesitation is within me to be used in the right way. We said the dislike of death must be used in a right way. And it makes sense to me to protect my life. The dislike of rotting and nasty smell, stingy smell. So, stingy smell, stinging smell,
Thinking.
stinking.
Yeah.
Stinking smell. Stingy is not
Like greedy.
greedy for himself. Okay, stinging smell. So this is to be used rightly. And when we think about it, we can use it rightly. If we don't think about it, we just throw it away. So doubt and hesitation is also in our essence created. Because I know something, why in certain circles, doubt and hesitation is learned, they say artificial. They say, in order not to question the reality of what we believe. So accept it as we are told. That's not human. That's not our reality. We have to wake up. You know, I doubt it. I don't know. Somebody's calling. Is he calling me? I look at it, yeah. It is with me. That's how I am created. But I have to have the answer. If people, be careful here, every one of us, if imams, do you know imam? Muslim religious leader, like priests of Muslim, rabbis, or let's say priests in general,
Right.
yeah, in general, religious leaders don't have the answer. Don't have the answer. What do they say? Follow the Quran. Don't doubt about it. Because he doesn't have the answer. He doesn't have the answer when you ask a question. He's ignorant. So Rabbi does the same thing. Priest does the same thing. So among the Muslims and the Christians, Jews don't question about it, don't talk about it. But the Muslims and Christians keep saying that you shouldn't doubt because they don't know the answer. We have to be very careful. So when they read the Quran, you have to accept as whatever the Quran says as it is. Why? Because they cannot explain it. They didn't study on it and reflect on it. They didn't use their reasoning. the same thing is really very prevalent among Muslims, especially among Christians as well. Christian theology. They say you shouldn't doubt because they cannot explain something. Because it doesn't make sense what they claim. But sometimes it makes sense, but they didn't work on it. So they cannot, if they cannot, for any reason, they cannot explain it. What they do, they use authority. I am the one who knows it. I am the bishop. I'm a professional teacher of Torah or Old Testament, New Testament. So you shouldn't think, ask me, whatever I say, you accept it. But I am not sure about it. No. Doubt is artificial. Do you understand the trick? No. Doubt is human. It is with me. Can I create something which God has not given to me? But I have to make the preference, saying that I have to use doubt in this sense, but I should not misuse it this way. Do you understand? I should not misuse it, but I should use it in the right way. I have to think, I can understand, for example, fear of death, dislike of death can be utilized in the right way. It makes sense. Shouldn't be misused and turned into hatred of the creator of death, creator of life and death. So I shouldn't hate God because he gives us death.
So I understand that doubt is not necessarily a bad thing. It can
Not
be
at all.
useful.
It is a necessary thing.
But what if we have too much doubt?
Whatever it is.
Is it
Okay.
okay to have too much doubt?
But if you investigate it one by one, don't make the profession of producing doubts. Have a doubt, try to get the answer. Another doubt comes, try to get the answer. The answer must be there.
So it doesn't become too much.
So no. It is just a public speech. How do you say public speech? Don't have too much doubt. I don't know. If there is doubt, there is doubt. If there is no doubt, there is no doubt. What do you mean by too much doubt? So the purpose of doubt is to incite us, to instigate us into search. So search it. For example, when the Quran says, this is the revelation, the book, and there's no doubt in it, it doesn't mean that you shouldn't have a doubt in it. No. When you investigate it, you cannot have a doubt about its truthfulness because it is consistent. It says. So try to see the consistency in the message, in the revelation. See the consistency. If there is no consistency and the text is false, something is wrong with the text or the way it is presented. Mostly people don't have answers propagate this idea. Don't take too much stuff. What do you mean by too much? I have it. If I don't, I don't. But don't make it a profession. For example, the philosophers make it a profession. Why? We have to ask the question, although there is no answer. Don't take it, this materialist philosophers came up with the conclusion that there is no truth, absolute truth. Why? Of course, there is no absolute truth within the universe. Because that's the restrictions. If I restrict myself, I would fall into the same mistake. So I have to have a free thinking, free mind, because human beings are free. My conclusion must be also freely concluded. Got it? So we have to be sure about it if we understand that. So I have to investigate. I have to question. Without restriction. Free mind is absolutely necessary because I am given a free operating free will. human free will. But within restricted things, you will, or the physical will,
Right.
but the reasoning has no limit.
And this goes back to your discussion about bias, how
Yeah.
we shouldn't approach
We
the
shouldn't
text
have any
with
bias.
whether it's
Yeah.
too much, like blindly following it, or too much.
For example, we are reading a piece from Torah
Mm.
or a piece from the Quran. At first glance, I know it is. I also started getting tired, so check the time. It is time. Time is up now. We are reading the Torah or the
Join
Quran,
the class.
whatever the tradition you follow, doesn't matter. You have to be open-minded. Let's say you are reading the Quran and there is a sentence which didn't make sense to you, and you said, "Is it really true?" No,
Mm.
keep it. Keep it. Don't straight away reject it. Say, "Oh, there is a doubt," which means I have to investigate. Investigate. But without investigating, no. If I say, I shouldn't have a doubt and imitate it, imitation is not human. Imitation is not human. Only monkeys imitate. Parrots imitate. Not human. Human beings need to be convinced. But for example, when you are taking a course in the school, you are in school as a student, the professor or the teacher taught you something you didn't understand at first. Isn't it the case? Very human. You may not be able to understand at first. But what do you say, okay, I didn't understand, but I accept whatever professor says. You learn nothing. You didn't make any progress. So what you have to do, raise your hand and ask the professor, look, you said this, but I didn't understand it. It didn't make sense to me. Right? It didn't make sense to me. Please explain further. He tried to explain, didn't make sense. Still, he said something doesn't seem to be correct. I cannot confirm it until you are convinced. You cannot confirm it. You cannot believe in it. If you cannot confirm it, you cannot believe in it. Without confirming, if you say, I believe in it, it means I am not a human being. I am a monkey. We have to understand this. But keep it there. Don't hastily reject it. Investigate it. Keep asking. Unfortunately, what's going on in the Muslim community, in the Christian community, Buddhist community, whatever, Jewish community, the religious authorities don't let the audience ask questions and raise their questions, doubts. This tradition is everybody goes to the mosque and the imam speaks, everybody's like this, half asleep, because they have no right to say anything in the mosque. Is it Islamic? No, it is against the Quran. Quran says, why don't you question? Why don't you investigate? Imam says, no, you shouldn't question. Is it Islamic? It is happening in Christendom as well. They say something, you say, what? No, you shouldn't have a doubt. You see? Brainwashing, conditioning. No, I'm not satisfied with it. I have to question. Until I find the unsatisfactory answer, I will never believe it. Yeah? That's what we learn from Revelation. Revelation says, think about it. Imam says no. Priest says no. Rabbi says no. But the revelation says you have to. We have to wake up. Okay. Fourth is next week. Inshallah. Right? Any questions? Any doubts?
Can
Any
I ask
doubt?
something?
Sorry?
Can I ask something?
Yes. Very quick. Because the time, if it is a long answer, we can't.
After.
Okay, ask the question. Let's see. The answer is very short and we can deal with it.
Like to some extent, this claim of Quran is so big because you have to go to beyond the universe.
Rationally.
Your conclusion.
Yes.
I
It was
thought maybe
absolute.
this.
We have to find absolute.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I thought maybe this philosopher can have right, and they can say, "I am the part of universe. How can my conclusion go beyond the universe?"
No, it is going. It is you are. You are not a stone. You are a human being. So think about your being, the things that are not like an animal or like a stone. You are a human being. As a human being, you are responsible to confirm the conclusion. So don't reject yourself, your reality. Don't go against your reality. That's what Quran says. Whatever I created you, for example, Quran says, I created you in the perfect form. You cannot say that, oh, no, I am created with a faulty or with some defaults in it. Default?
Defect.
Defects in it. Why? If my creator, I'm excited here, made me with defect, it is my fault, it is his fault. Right? So it is contradictory. My creator says that, look, you cannot understand this because I created you with the defect that you cannot understand. And so you have to accept what I say. I can't because of your how do you say, bad work. Not my job is bad, your job is bad, I would say. You see, it is contradiction. That is the thing. Our minds are conditioned that about religious matters, we shouldn't think deep. We should be imitators of the authorities. I'm not monkey, I'm a human being.
Right.
If I cannot get the right answer because of something wrong in my creation, this is my creator's mistake, not my mistake. I will challenge. Of course, this is my ability given to me by him as well. It does challenge me. Yeah, challenge me. So the same mentality prevalent in all religious traditions. Don't doubt. You don't know. So you have to just accept it. Brainwashed. We are all brainwashed. Thank you very much. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Let's close it with a prayer, inshallah. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين. بحرمة سر سورة الفاتحة.